episode on my show, we're making pagatini. Oh no, sorry. It looked like pagatini. Actually, spagatini. So, we make you very fine food very quick. Thank you so much for subscribing to my new show. First, we add H20. Okay? Add the H20. Now you're gonna boil the water slow. No, you can do it fast. This one you do fast. Now, yes, in the fridge we have ingredient number 1. Well, number 21. Ingredient number 21 is voila. That's Spanish for how you doing, ladies. I think we do this. We making a one-pot wonder today. Why is that still beeping? I'm trying to run a show. R2-D2 is on the fritz down there. Okay. Or there's a flood and a carbon monoxide poisoning going on down there. None of that's happening. Back to character. Hello and welcome to my show. Today's episode... No, speed up. Fast forward. Okay. 21 ingredients in there. We set the timer. 21 minutes. We're going to make the world's best pagatini. Spaghetti. Let's go somewhere else and watch somebody else's show. Alright. We're using a pizza sauce for the spaghettini. Like a boss. Okay? If you have any leftover chips, throw them in there now. Salsa, get it in there. Take our vitamins so we live forever. Next, I got kombucha here. Nobody wants to have the blueberry one because it goes up your nose when you have it. Blueberry kombuchas. I mean, I can feel that thing is ready to go on the top of the lid. This one is not pushed up. It's just crazy. while they're boiling. Next up, spaghettini. Hi Lily for life. How you doing? Make sure everybody drops a like on the video. We're making pasta. Oh. We'll probably do about a good 3 or 4, maybe 5 different episodes on the show here, and then mix them all together. It's gonna be a good day, all right? It's gonna be a good day. Once the pasta starts to boil, simply let her do her thing in a nice even bath of water, like so. 10, 20, 30 seconds, you'll just slightly turn the pasta. And it is in that breath that you will turn off the oven and allow the pasta to simmer with the residual heat. I like to get all my ingredients ready for the next step, so it's not like, oh, and then now I have to do this, but hold on, I haven't done it yet. So what I'm doing to the side here is important for this recipe while this is in the midst of cooking, right? If you understand timing and stuff, and you have done things often or frequently enough, there's a perfect marriage of timing that can occur when cooking. Just a straight love. And it's like, baby, now, do it now. And then you're like, oh yeah, okay, I got this. You know? I got this. Alright, here. We'll get that going. Alright. I'm gonna ask my wife to rub my shoulder for a few minutes. I'm gonna rub her shoulders and stuff, but I gotta get her to, like, not pop my shoulder, but I need something done. It's excruciating right now. But after that, I've had this for about a week now, maybe 10 days, I'm not even sure. It's from raking, weed whacking, lifting all kinds of heavy stuff, and carrying heavy stuff, and going up on ladders, and cleaning the eaves troughs, and doing my wife's hair yesterday, and painting her toes, and cooking, and cleaning, and sweeping, and mopping. We doing that. I gotta get some laundry going this week. Not very much, just like some curtains need to be washed. So that'll get done this week. Actually, this weekend it'll get done, because this week is almost over. It's Wednesday, mid-Wednesday already. So what are you looking at now, right? Thursday morning. So yeah, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I just want to get a bunch of stuff done as fast as possible, as properly as possible, but as fast as possible. And I know my body is going to get torn up and beat up in the process, but it is going to be a lot better when it's all done. I need to focus on my YouTube channels for a good couple years, and I'll eventually, like, I was doing heaters before, but it was because there was a time when there was not, everything was perfect, right? So we got to get to that perfect spot so I can do these heaters, go viral this time. Like, as I get bigger and bigger, it gets hotter and hotter, right? Like, so this is now, we're on a heater. You'll see though, 10K will turn into 100K, 100K will turn into a million, 200, 500K will be fast. The first 100K is always the slowest, guaranteed. Alright, get this stuff to this point right here. You're going to keep going, but at a reduced heat. So we'll turn it down to a low, and I'll begin now. Process number one is going to be add a little bit of some type of fat or oil to this. That's a sheet pan of pasta there. So you want to grab some some oil, right? Oh, I hope everything turns out in the world. I know everything is never gonna be super duper. It can be. Everything can be perfect. There's some powers that be that don't want it to be, right? We have to remember that at all times. If you see imperfection, it's manufactured. Okay, I can guarantee you, because civilization has been around so long. Ancient civilizations. Do you think they want to just instantly end their civilization, or do you think they want to continue being an ancient civilization far past what they are now, right? You don't make it this far not being peaceful, right? So there's some really important stuff I said there. I hope you can make sense of the world based off what I just said there, right? I strongly believe, too, that there are people who claim to be good and they aren't, right? And if you think about what I just said, look around you. Today you'll see what I'm saying. Today you'll see exactly that. Turn on the TV. You'll see exactly that. Turn on YouTube, in fact. You will definitely see exactly that. I can't believe I never saw it before, but today I recognized a word within words. And I was like, wow, are you serious? But that word within words is up to you guys to figure out on your own. I strongly believe that. I feel like I was told that, in fact. So I can't help you on that note, but I will say I love you all very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I think that everybody has a... And by the way, I'm just going on the top of this, right? If you are a skilled chef, you know what I'm talking about. Many skilled chefs use a tiny tiny sauce spoon, and they just have a little lick, right? Now, how are you going to use a spoon with this, right? So how do you have just a little taste of something, right? I'll show you. I'm going to taste it. Everything isn't as difficult as it has to be. You don't need special tools for this or that. And don't use wood. It's not good. Holds a lot of germs. Everything's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. You don't want to be two-faced in this world, though. Cancers will get you, and far worse than that. Of course, good people get cancer. My mama got cancer. But there are also people who are completely evil, right? I never claim to have chats with some superior being or have any knowledge on any superior beings, right? You can't say that from a lot of people in certain sects. Again, that's SECTS. Please always remember there are twisted people who are going to make up stories for you to listen to. We don't do that here. Well, yeah, sure, we have a good time talking make-believe, but I'm telling you, Jasper came in, flew in 7 times. That's for them ultimate deals, right? That's, say hi, Obon. There is nobody named Jasper for the 62% of you from America that are watching that believe Jasper's real. Please, he's not real. He make-believe. Now, first thing you want to do is serve up nice, healthy eats. The second thing you want to do is be a good person, right? You want to season at the end, because seasoning is terpy, and if you cook terps, what happens? Yeah, that's right, they gone forever. And why did you just waste money on seasoning them, right? Of course there's some stuff that can stew and mellow and marry. Have you ever put cinnamon in pancakes? Do you think it's better to put the cinnamon in at the end or the beginning? Or do you think it's kind of the same, right? So what I said there is you don't need time to marry. The cinnamon, it tastes the same if you put it, especially even, it tastes even better. You see, even more brilliant if you put it on after. The same concept transfers over from sweet to savory. Never forget, I am the boss in the kitchen. I'm the terpiest dude you'll ever meet, by far. We were talking terps 8.5 years ago on YouTube. Come on. We were talking terps, bud. So, when you know, you know. I was making you wicked food back then once in a while, and then I was also ordering some very horrible food most of the time. But after a while, I started to cook again. My wife got mad at me, or so I don't remember. She didn't get mad, but she was like, "Why do you always? We shouldn't be ordering takeout all the time." I was like, "Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like cooking at all. I don't know what to make. I don't have any interest in cooking. I cooked my whole life. I love cooking." And I never thought to myself, "Oh, that's kind of odd." Plus, I didn't feel good. I didn't have the energy. I also didn't have an appetite, which is, again, that's also really odd. So, yeah. I could eat, but I didn't want to. I was like, "Ooh, I'm craving this." That's called an appetite. So now that you get your pasta doing different things, right, you're going to turn it. Let's give it a little turny. We aren't going for, and none of these are all individual noodles. If anything, I might add just a hair more of, because there was so much. Maybe I'll just spin this like that. There you go. But yeah, we got to get that sauce mixed through. But and a little bit of seasonings. How you want to do that, if you got stuff there, you just want to fold it, turn it, and then dip it. It's not really doing its perfect thing, but that's because it's a little bit slippery, right? So you don't have to add anything after all. We're trying to cut back on everything. So by doing so, it's just better and healthier. You're saving money, you're living longer, and you're staying out of the hospital. You have a window. If you eat unhealthy, you could spend the last 20 years in the hospital of your life. If you eat really unhealthy, you could be in and out of the hospital for 30 or 40 years, the last part of your life, right? Let's say you make it to 50 or 60. You could spend from 23 to 25, you could be in the hospital till you're 60, right? Or 50. So you get 25, 35 years of hospital life. Now, let's say you eat healthy. You live till you're 80, 85, 90, somewhere in there. best, hopeful. Car accident. There's all kinds of in betweens I won't get into, actually. But it's how life works, right? Some people do this, some people do that, and then your chances go up. We can put it that way, okay? But with that being said, you can still combat it by eating healthy food, okay? Healthy food is that your body will then have an immune system that fights for you on your behalf because you ate good. Your body wants to continue to live, period, flat out. So you have to pay attention to your body's signs, right? And yeah, it's great you go see a doctor, but nobody knows your body better than you do, right? Nobody knows how you were feeling in not feeling like I'm sad or this. Like, yes, those are important too, but what I'm saying is your stomach sore? Is your head sore? Was it sore all week? Has it been sore for 2 months, right? Has it been sore for 10 years? Like, how long have you gone with this, right? And, like, you could be on your last days if you've been sick for 10 years, you know what I mean? But you don't know it, right? So that was 21 minutes. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody. We're going to plate up, and you're going to see how awesome I am right now. We start with a plate. I got this here. I'm holding the tripod here, scooching it over because I don't have a camera. Check. I need at least 3 camera chicks. All right. Put that there. You're going to have your fork play big boy today. And what I like to do with the fork is pretty cool. And then in the pasta world, you just simply, when you're doing your thing, you can also just grab this and go like that. Nice tight bundle like that. And then we'll do that again. I'll just do it in the pot here like this. I'll show you a secondary way to plate up the pastas. It's sexy. Remember, you're not trying to get really fat. Sauce has a ton of sugar in it. If your body is unhealthy, stay away from sugar. If your body is unhealthy, you should, almost guaranteed, you should stay away from caffeine. If your body is unhealthy, you should drink green tea, mint tea, things like that. Concentrate on staying hydrated. Take your multivitamin. And always get a little bit of exercise. Some walking, maybe some sit-ups, push-ups. Physical exercise, but also mental exercise is cool too. How do you do that? You can play a board game. Using Mobile Legends is a wonderful mental exercise, but most of you probably don't play that. You can play solitaire on your phone. Any game. Candy Crush is a mental exercise. There's all ways to work your mind, right? If you watch TV, I guess it depends what you watch, and if you take time in between the show to think, oh, well, that's how I'm going to fix my trauma in that aspect. If you're watching Gold Rush or whatever it is, you could be working your mind, I guess. A long time ago when I was a kid, they laughed and said, oh, hand-eye coordination from video games. Because there were certain studies that were done saying how people who played video games had ridiculous, phenomenal hand-eye coordination. Now, I think that was a bit misleading. I think the study didn't check to see kids who played sports and kids who didn't. I think we need to check that study again and see if the hand-eye coordination, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe pushing those buttons in those moments really fast, moving those directionals, maybe that's
the hand, and the eye is me playing the video game, having to defend or attack the other person using their mind to move their chess piece, right? So you have to take all this into account when doing these things. These things. Oh, and then the other thing you have to do is you have to take into account the fact, did they play sports or not in life, right? They may have already had killer hand-eye coordination from badminton, soccer, volleyball, whatever it is, right? Use your mind in soccer. You have to read people like a book. You have to, and it's very tricky. Soccer is a sport that they will fool you to get down to score on you, right? Hockey is a sport where they will fool you. Oh, I'm going this way. Oh, backhand for it. What? What? Ah, oh, gotcha. Right?
I'll see you next time, folks. The world is fairly complex, and you should look at it as such, but at the same time, if you do a little bit of everything, it becomes much more easy to rationalize